Hey, Frog Prince Rana here, and thank you for dropping by. Following is from Australian doctor Rachel Hipp, who has seen people suffer from diseases that could have been prevented by vaccines throughout her career. She's got a direct message for parents who refuses routine shots for their children. This is quite an old photo, but something I have recently been aware of. This was originally written by Hipp for the Northern Rivers Vaccination Supporters website at her doctor's office. The sign asks questions such as, when your daughter gets rubella when pregnant, how are you going to explain you chose to leave her at risk? What will you say when she calls you and tells you she has cervical cancer because you decided she wouldn't need the HPV vaccine? What do you tell your son when he breaks the news to you that he cannot have kids thanks to the mumps that he got as a teenager? And what do you say when he gives influenza to his grandma? How do you explain she won't be coming home from hospital? Not ever. Do you tell them you didn't think these diseases were that serious? That you thought that your organic home-cooked food was enough to protect them? Do you say sorry? Hipp's call to arms is based on her experience working in intensive care. She remembers one baby who died from whooping cough and another with whooping cough who spent 6 months in intensive care and may always be dependent on oxygen. Having seen so much unnecessary death and illness, she helped establish the Northern Rivers Vaccination Supporters Group and spends her spare time campaigning against the so-called anti-vaxxer movement. She wrote the message featured on the sign in response to the idea that parents have a right to choose whether or not to vaccinate their kids. I keep hearing loads of comments about the parents' right to choose and stuff like that, almost like the kids were possessions. She tells the Australian woman's website Mamamia, "To me, it's all about the rights of the child. These diseases can impact on their whole lives. You don't get to choose whether your kid wears a seatbelt. There is stuff in place to protect children. You don't own your children. That upsets me." The misinformed belief that the measles, mumps, rubella, MMR vaccines cause autism was inspired by a 1998 study published in The Lancet by British gastroenterologist Andrew Wakefield. I have talked about this a-hole in my other vaccine-related videos. Links are in description. In 2010, the journal retracted Wakefield's study, announcing that it was utterly clear, without any ambiguity at all, that the statements in the paper were utterly false. Wakefield's medical license was revoked, and it's clear that there is no connection between vaccines and autism. According to the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the vaccines received by kids born between 1994 and 2006 will prevent 381 million diseases, 24.5 million hospitalizations, and 855,000 deaths in their lifetime. Well, that's all for this video. If you think it is worthwhile to pass on to an anti-vaxxer, I would greatly appreciate it. Please feel free to like and comment to feed YouTube algorithm, so it would be more visible to those who really needs to hear it. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. Wherever you are, have a safe day. Signing off.